hedonistic and self-serving all day. I want to be appreciated. I want to exercise my God-given talents. I want to be productive and fruitful. I want somebody to really appreciate me, to know there's no ulterior motive. I was born rich like you. And I'm doing this because I damn well want to, and nothing by God is going to stop me from doing this thing. And finally, to sum up this video, I just want to ask everybody out there, what if you were running this world? How would you do it? How would you work the economic system? And just be honest with yourself and really use your imagination and contemplate what I'm saying and consider it prayerfully about what I'm asking you. If you were at the very top and you could control this economic system, how would it be? What role would money be? Would it be a means to an end like sound currency would be, to liberate everybody, that we could have freedom on earth for everybody, not just some? Is that how it would be? Or would it be like the elitists, the status quo, have it now? And you need to be really ruthlessly honest with yourself, because your eternal destiny is at stake, I believe. Is if your heart is pure, if your heart is impure. If you are on the side of humanity or if you are on the side of inhumanity. But you can't have both, okay? You can't have both. And silence speaks volumes. If you just go along to get along with this system and you say, hey, well, you know what? Somebody else's problem. I can't worry about it. I can't change this. Oh, no, you can. Or at least you can be on record and say, I spoke up. I knew clearly which side I was on. Okay, because I don't want to go spend any time with those elitist scum. The only reason I get close to them is try to win them over to the other side. I would confront them, though. God has given us strength and courage. Those that love God above all else and love one another as themselves. Okay, they have a pure heart that live by the golden rule. They are the righteous. They are the meek. They are the ones that are going to inherit this earth when it's completely cleaned up. And it'll be so much better in every way. And I firmly believe that if good was in control of this world, if God was in control of this earth, that we would be born free, just like every other creature. Just imagine. The only difference is that we're like little gods. Inasmuch as we're God's children made in the image and likeness of God, we can enjoy it exponentially more than the creatures. Being born free. Do you understand what that means? Absolutely free. A completely level playing field. No advantage, disadvantage. No discrimination out there, because that's what that is. When you're born into advantage or disadvantage, or for what other reason you found a way to get advantage in this world, no, you can't have it. You will never find true happiness while you ignore the welfare of other people. You've got to care, and it's the only way you'll find happiness. And you can say, well, that's a really uphill battle. That's swimming upstream, that's going against the grain of the system. So be it. Because in the long run, we're going to prevail. Because knowledge is going to reach a critical mass. And decent people are going to seize hold of it. And they're going to say, I'm not letting it go because I know truth from lies. I know reality from fiction. And I know what I want for everybody. Not just myself and my family, but I know what I want for that hungry child in Africa or in Latin America or wherever it may be. They're your brother. They're your sister. And that's the only right way to look at things. And that's the only way we're ever going to find true happiness. Okay, and people will say, well, hey, if everybody was rich, they'd be burning up all the gasoline and fuel and we'd just destroy the planet. Okay, that's what these elitists have come up with. That's the idea that, hey, you know what, now that everybody's figuring out, that we invent austerity, that we manufacture austerity. Okay, now we've got to have a reason for it. And that's their reason. This is why they want to get rid of the vast majority of human beings, 85%. It's all for the greater good, to save the planet. Do you understand that these are usurpers, hypocrites from the pit of hell? And that's where they're headed. They're all headed there, and I sure don't want to be one of them. And that's why I speak out in behalf of just the regular folk out there, because I love them. And Martin Luther King, he wouldn't have considered himself anything special. He probably wondered why people would care to shake his hand and meet him. But I know why. He's a great guy. Yes, he had a nice voice and he had a great delivery. But you know what? I mean, just those simple values that he beheld. And he said, you know what? I'm going to run with it. I know I'm just a regular guy. But you know what? I'm going to run with it. I'm going to speak out in behalf of truth and justice and mercy and humanity and the working class poor. I'm going to give a damn. I don't care who hates me. And you are hated. If you speak out in behalf of these people, believe me, you are hated. Because when you reveal truth, you reveal these evil people living in darkness. Okay? You reveal the wicked. While it's true, we're all sinners. And that's about as hard to prevent as the fact that it's like preventing the fact that you have DNA that's corrupted. But you're not wicked, because there's a big difference. Okay? God knows your motives better than anybody. And when you sin, he knows if it's about escapism due to this evil, corrupt system that you're just trying to get away from and flee from. He knows your heart better than you. It's written like this: he has numbered the hairs of our head. Now I ask you, what parent out there has numbered the hairs of their child? None. I'll bet you none have. But that's how much our divine parents care about us. That's how much the Father cares about you and me. We're beloved beyond all else. And what does he want from us? Friends. It's written that his yoke is easy, his load is light. He doesn't have a lot of demands he lays on us. But he wants us to serve him because we want to. Not because we're forced to do it, but because we have turned to him and he has guided us and directed us to want to be his servants and to serve our fellow man in whatever capacity we can and to care about others. That's all it really comes down to. That's all it really comes down to. And, I think some big changes are on their way, but it's going to be tumultuous because the evil people that have been in control of this planet for literally thousands of years, they're going to fight like hell to ever let this thing turn around, and that people could understand, hey, suddenly I'm seeing changes. I'm starting to see homelessness end. Okay, I'm starting to see, hunger end in the world. I'm starting to see poverty end. I'm seeing crime going down. I'm seeing war coming to an end. This all denotes the return of Jesus, and it's coming, folks. And it's going to be a big event. But this is what you need to be cultivating in your heart, your mind, and your spirit, your soul. You've got to want these things. And you've got to be God's hands and feet, eyes and ears on the ground, cultivating it in whatever ways he puts in your heart. Let him speak to you, and then you can speak the words that he gives you. And he does. He blesses everybody. He doesn't hide. He doesn't do anything in secret. He wants everything he does known. He wants his character, his nature, his personality to be revealed to everybody because we're his kids. And what does he want for his kids? What makes sense? What's logical? What's reasonable? He wants the best for all of us. Even the wicked. Can you imagine that? Even the wicked. He forgives us repeatedly, and he loves us, and he knows us infinitely more than we can ever even know ourselves. And he loves us infinitely more than we can ever love our children, or our children can love us. We're truly his possessions, and rightfully so. And we've got to honor God and honor the saints and the martyrs out there, like Martin Luther King Jr., who I admire immensely. Absolutely, I practically adore the man. And, I wish he was here. And if Martin Luther King Jr. was in control of this country, I'll tell you what, those things I pointed out, we'd have them now. We would have prosperity in America, not just for some, but for everybody. All that suppressed clean technology, okay, that these people in the oil business and other dirty fuel businesses, they want to protect this technology, and keep it away from the public. All that would be at an end. All over the world, America would be a shining light example, okay, a lighthouse, a beacon on a hill. For the rest of the world, we would be able to say, do this, follow this recipe, A, B, C, and D, and guess what? You're going to have the same thing we have here. You're going to have prosperity for everybody. Yes, contrary to what Obama says, in Africa, you will have air conditioning if you want it. You will be able to drive cars if you want. And we're not going to wreck the earth either. And all these elitist scumbags, they can all crawl it back into their holes and do whatever they do. Okay? And God loves them too, I know. And I say, God bless my enemies. And I mean that too. But it's a repent or perish thing because we're down to the wire. So that's what I say to them. I say, I warn you. As your brother, I'm telling you, you better start giving a damn. You better start caring, because you're going to meet your maker, and you're going to answer for not only things you've done, but for the things you haven't done. Not only for the things you've said, for the things you haven't said. Not only for the things you've thought, but the things that you refuse to think. Your refusal to use your God-given imagination and value that. And realize, hey, you know what? I do live by a double standard. And in all honesty, I've got to admit this. I don't want to go to hell with the hypocrites where there's weeping and gnashing of teeth. I don't want to be there. And you rich, you know, like it says, in that day, you're going to weep and wail. So before that time comes, you've got to stand up and say, no, I'm not going to do it. Like Jesus said, you know, give your wealth to the poor. Okay? I mean, you know, these billionaires, they could give most of what they have and still be billionaires, and it wouldn't even hurt them. That's what gets me. You talk about taxation, I say, why don't we just make the uber wealthy pay all the taxes? And it wouldn't even hurt them. We'd have all this cash inflow. Okay? But they, again, don't want the problem fixed. They know all the same economic principles I'm conveying to you right now, and they're trying to confuse you. They're trying to keep you thinking it's all complicated and it's convoluted. And the reason it is complicated and convoluted is because they made it that way by design. It's easier to steal from you and keep you off balance. Anyhow, folks, you have a great day, and hopefully we'll get to talk again sometime. All right.